First contact and deception. The sleek silver ship emerged from the swirling vortex of hyperspace, its hull gleaming in the light of an unfamiliar sun. On the bridge, Captain Alina Reyes took a deep breath, her dark eyes scanning the starfield before her. This was it, humanity's first venture beyond their solar system. "Status report," she called out, her voice steady despite the nervous energy thrumming through her body. Lieutenant Wei Chen's fingers danced across his console. "All systems nominal, Captain. We've arrived at the coordinates provided by the long-range scans." Elena nodded, a small smile tugging at her lips. The UES Pathfinder had performed flawlessly on its maiden voyage. Now came the real test, making first contact with an alien civilization. "Any sign of the alien vessel?" she asked. "Negative, Captain," Chen replied. "But we're detecting an artificial structure on the fourth planet of this system. It appears to be some kind of orbital station." Elena's pulse quickened. "Hail them," she ordered. Moments later, the view screen flickered to life, revealing a being unlike anything humanity had ever encountered. The alien had iridescent scales, 4 arms, and large, multifaceted eyes that seemed to shimmer with an inner light. "Greetings, travelers," the alien spoke, its voice a melodious trill that the ship's universal translator rendered into English. "I am Ambassador ZCiFi of the Galactic Council. We've been eagerly awaiting your arrival." Elena stepped forward, squaring her shoulders. "I am Captain Alina Reyes of the United Earth ship Pathfinder. On behalf of humanity, we come in peace and friendship." ZCiFi's mouthparts twitched in what Elena hoped was a smile. "We welcome you, humans, to the greater galactic community. Your species has taken its first steps into a larger universe. We have much to discuss." Over the next few days, Elena and her crew were given a whirlwind tour of the Galactic Council's outpost. They marveled at technology centuries beyond Earth's capabilities: gravity manipulation, faster-than-light communication, and energy sources that seemed to defy the laws of physics. ZCiFi and the other council representatives were gracious hosts, answering the humans' endless questions with patience and apparent openness. They spoke of a galactic civilization spanning thousands of worlds, united in pursuit of knowledge and peaceful coexistence. "Your species has great potential," ZCiFi told Elena as they stood in an observation dome, gazing out at the stars. "We look forward to guiding your development and welcoming Earth as a full member of the Council." Elena felt a swell of pride and hope. This was everything humanity had dreamed of when they looked to the stars. A chance to join a grand cosmic civilization, to learn and grow beyond the confines of their home world. But not everyone shared her optimism. Dr. Aisha Okafor, the Pathfinder's chief scientist, cornered Elena in a quiet corridor. The normally reserved woman's eyes were alight with excitement, but there was an undercurrent of tension in her voice. "Captain, I've been analyzing the data they've shared with us," Aisha said in a hushed tone. "There are inconsistencies, things that don't add up." Elena frowned. "What do you mean?" Aisha glanced around, ensuring they were alone. "The technological progression they're describing, it doesn't make sense. There are gaps, leaps that seem impossible without some key discoveries they haven't mentioned. And some of the star charts they've shown us, the stellar drift doesn't match up with the timelines they're claiming." A cold feeling settled in Elena's stomach. "Are you saying they're lying to us?" Aisha shook her head. "I don't know. Maybe it's just a translation error, or some cultural misunderstanding. But something isn't right here, Captain. We need to be careful." Elena nodded slowly. "Keep digging, but be discreet. We don't want to offend our hosts if this turns out to be nothing." But as the days passed, Elena found herself noticing little things that fed her growing unease. The way certain areas of the station were off-limits to the human visitors. The careful way the aliens phrased their answers to more probing questions. And sometimes, when they thought no one was looking, she caught glimpses of expressions on alien faces that seemed almost predatory. On the eve of the Pathfinder's scheduled departure, Belina stood alone in her quarters, staring out at the alien world below. She should have been elated. Humanity's first contact had been a resounding success. They were returning home with promises of technological marvels and a bright future as part of a galactic community. So why did she feel like she was missing something crucial? A chime at her door interrupted her brooding. It was Chen, his usually calm demeanor shaken. "Captain," he said, his voice trembling slightly, "I've intercepted a transmission. It's encoded, but I think you need to see this." Belina's blood ran cold as she read the decrypted message. It was from Zaxlith to some unknown superior, and its contents shattered any illusions of benevolent alien benefactors. "The humans have taken the bait," it read. "Their naivety is almost endearing. Phase 1 of the assimilation process can begin as scheduled. Within a generation, Earth's resources and population will be ours to exploit. They'll never know what hit them." Belina's hands clenched into fists, her mind racing. They had to warn Earth, had to prepare for what was coming. But how could they hope to stand against a civilization so far beyond them technologically? As the Pathfinder broke orbit the next day, its crew unaware of the terrible truth Alina now carried, she made a silent vow. Humanity would not go quietly into the night. They would find a way to survive, to fight back against this cosmic deception. The journey home was just the beginning. The real voyage, one of desperate preparation and clandestine resistance, was about to begin. Humanity's secret preparations. The debriefing room at United Earth Defense Command was silent as Captain Alina Reyes finished her report. The assembled military and political leaders sat in stunned silence, the weight of her words settling over them like a shroud. General Akira Tanaka, a grizzled veteran of the Mars colony's conflict, was the first to speak. "You're certain about this, Captain? There's no chance of misinterpretation." Elena shook her head grimly. "I wish there was, sir. Dr. Okafor and our linguistics team have gone over the transmission multiple times. The Galactic Council's intentions are clear. They mean to subjugate us, not help us." President Amelia Chen leaned forward, her face a mask of determination. "Then we must prepare. But how do we defend against a threat so far beyond our technological capabilities?" "We use their own arrogance against them," Elena replied, her voice steady. "They think we're naive, easily manipulated. We'll let them believe that while we work in secret to level the playing field." And so began Project Shadowfall, the most ambitious and secretive undertaking in human history. On the surface, Earth enthusiastically embraced its new role in the galactic community. Diplomatic exchanges continued, and carefully selected technological innovations were shared with humanity. But beneath this facade of cooperation, a fever of clandestine activity gripped the planet. Hidden shipyards were constructed in the asteroid belt, shielded from prying eyes by experimental cloaking technology reverse-engineered from the scraps of data Elena's team had managed to steal. Dr. Aisha Okafor led a team of Earth's brightest minds in unraveling the secrets of alien tech. They worked tirelessly, pushing the boundaries of human understanding in quantum mechanics, artificial intelligence, and energy manipulation. It's like trying to recreate a smartphone with vacuum tubes and punch cards, Aisha confided to Elena during a rare moment of downtime. "But we're making progress. Every breakthrough brings us one step closer to standing a fighting chance." Meanwhile, General Tanaka oversaw the formation of a new elite military force, pilots, engineers, and soldiers trained in absolute secrecy to operate the advanced ships and weapons being developed. Among them was Elena's former lieutenant, Wei Chen, now a major and squadron leader. "It's incredible, Captain," Chen told her during a clandestine meeting. "The ships we're building, they're like nothing I've ever seen. If the aliens could see what we're capable of, they'd never underestimate us again." But for every triumph, there were setbacks. Spies had to be rooted out, security protocols constantly updated to stay ahead of alien surveillance. The strain of maintaining the deception while racing against time took its toll on everyone involved. 5 years into Project Shadowfall, a breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Dr. Yuki Sato, a brilliant but eccentric physicist, burst into a high-level meeting, her eyes wild with excitement. "I've cracked it," she exclaimed, spreading out a series of complex equations. The key to their FTL technology. It's not just about faster-than-light travel. It's a way to manipulate the fundamental fabric of space-time itself. Her discovery was a game-changer. With this knowledge, humanity could not only match the alien speed, but potentially outmaneuver them in ways they'd never anticipate. As the secret fleet took shape, hidden in the shadows of Jupiter's moons and deep space stations, Alina found herself promoted to admiral, overseeing the final stages of preparation. The ships were marvels of human ingenuity, sleek, powerful, and armed with weapons that could punch through the strongest alien shields. But it wasn't just military might that humanity was counting on. They had also been quietly building a network of allies among other species, chafing under the Galactic Council's rule. Diplomatic missions, ostensibly to further Earth's integration into galactic society, had secretly been making contacts and forging alliances. One such ally was SCiFi, the very ambassador who had first greeted humanity. Torn by guilt over his role in the deception, he had become a valuable double agent, feeding Earth crucial intelligence on Council movements and plans. "They're growing impatient," SCiFi warned during a cover transmission. "The Council believes Earth is right for the taking. They're planning to launch their invasion soon, within the next solar year." Alina's jaw tightened at the news. They were running out of time. In a secure bunker deep beneath the Himalayan mountains, Earth's leaders gathered for a final briefing. The mood was tense, the weight of humanity's fate heavy on every shoulder. President Chen addressed the assembly, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. "For 8 years, we've prepared in secret, pushing the boundaries of what we thought possible. Now, the moment of truth approaches. We cannot match the Council's numbers. But thanks to your tireless efforts, we have a fighting chance." She turned to Admiral Reyes. "Alina, the fate of our species rests in your hands. Are we ready?" Alina stood, feeling the eyes of every person in the room upon her. She thought of every sleepless night, every setback and breakthrough, every sacrifice made to reach this point. A fierce pride in human determination swelled within her. "We're as ready as we'll ever be, Madam President," she replied, her voice ringing with conviction. "Let them come. Humanity will not go quietly into the night." As she spoke, klaxons began to blare. A young officer burst into the room, his face pale. Multiple hyperspace signatures detected entering the solar system. "It's begun." Alina's eyes met General Tanaka's across the room. With a nod, the old soldier activated the secure comm channel. "This is Tanaka. Initiate Operation Defiant Dawn. I repeat, Defiant Dawn is a go." Throughout the solar system, hidden bases sprang to life. Ships that had never seen the light of day powered up, their crews ready for the fight of their lives. In cities across the globe, people looked to the skies, unaware of the battle about to be waged for their very existence. As Alina strode towards the command shuttle that would take her to her flagship, she sent up a silent prayer. Not to any god, but to the indomitable spirit of humanity that had brought them to this moment. The Galactic Council thought they were dealing with helpless prey. They were about to learn just how wrong they were. The greatest battle in human history was about to begin. The alien invasion begins. The skies above Earth lit up with an otherworldly glow as the Galactic Council's invasion fleet dropped out of hyperspace. Thousands of ships, from sleek fighters to massive dreadnoughts, filled near-Earth orbit in a breathtaking display of alien might. For a moment, all was still, the calm before the storm. In cities across the globe, civilians gaped at the spectacle, a mixture of awe and terror gripping them. News channels scrambled to report on the unprecedented event, their anchors struggling to maintain composure as they relayed what little information they had. Aboard the Council's flagship, Supreme Commander Vex Alia surveyed the blue-green planet below with cold satisfaction. Her scaled fingers tapped a rhythmic pattern on the arm of her command chair as she addressed her lieutenants. "Commence the opening stages of the invasion," she ordered, her voice a sibilant hiss. "Let us remind these primitives of their place in the cosmos." As the alien armada began its advance, the carefully crafted illusion of Earth's helplessness was maintained. Outdated defense satellites fired ineffectual volleys at the incoming ships, their explosions little more than fireworks against the advanced shielding technology. A handful of conventional military craft rose to meet the invaders, only to be swatted aside with contemptuous ease. On the ground, chaos erupted. Governments worldwide declared states of emergency, urging citizens to remain calm and seek shelter. Panic buying emptied store shelves, and streets clogged with those attempting to flee major cities. But beneath the surface of this apparent disarray, a carefully orchestrated plan was unfolding. Deep within a bunker beneath Cheyenne Mountain, Admiral Elena Reyes stood before a holographic display of the solar system, watching as red dots representing the alien fleet swarmed towards Earth. Around her, the command center hummed with tense activity as personnel monitored the invasion's progress. "They're deploying ground forces," reported Major Chen, his eyes fixed on incoming data streams. "Dropships descending on major population centers. New York, London, Beijing, Moscow." Elena nodded grimly. "Right on schedule. Time to spring the trap. Initiate Phase 1 of Operation Defiant Dawn." Across the globe, hidden defensive systems suddenly sprang to life. Energy shields, reverse-engineered from stolen alien tech and enhanced by Dr. Seto's breakthroughs, flickered into existence over key cities and military installations. The alien dropships, unprepared for this level of resistance, found their beams scattering harmlessly against the protective bubbles. In orbit, the real shock came as humanity's secret fleet revealed itself. Emerging from concealed bases on Mars, the moons of Jupiter, and deep space stations, hundreds of advanced human warships decloaked. Their sleek designs, a fusion of terrestrial aesthetics and alien technology, stood in stark contrast to the bulky council vessels. Aboard her flagship, the UES Defiant, Elena allowed herself a small smile as she watched the enemy fleet reeling in surprise. All ships engage at will. Let's show these would-be conquerors what humanity is truly capable of. The battle that ensued was unlike anything Earth had ever witnessed. Human ships, piloted by crews who had trained relentlessly for this moment, darted between the lumbering alien vessels with startling agility. They unleashed salvos of energy weapons and smart missiles that sought out weak points in the Council ship's defenses. On the Defiance bridge, Elena coordinated the assault, her mind racing as she processed incoming data and issued rapid-fire commands. Epsilon Squadron, flank that dreadnought. Gamma Team, provide cover fire for our fighters. The alien fleet, caught off guard by the humans' unexpected capabilities, struggled to regroup. Their numerical advantage was offset by confusion and disarray as carefully laid invasion plans crumbled in the face of this unprecedented resistance. On Earth, the ground battle raged with equal intensity. As alien forces managed to penetrate the shield defenses in some areas, they found themselves facing not panicked civilians, but well-prepared and heavily armed resistance fighters. Years of covert training and stockpiling of advanced weapons paid off as human defenders held their own against technologically superior invaders. In New York City, Major Sarah Okoro led a team of elite soldiers in repelling an alien assault on the United Nations headquarters. Armed with powered exoskeletons and plasma rifles, they fought street by street, using their knowledge of urban terrain to outmaneuver the invaders. "Keep pushing," Sarah shouted over the din of battle, her armor scorched but intact. "We are humanity's last line of defense. We will not falter." Similar scenes played out in cities around the world as humanity fought with a ferocity that shocked their alien opponents. The invaders, expecting an easy conquest, found themselves embroiled in a desperate struggle for survival. As the battle raged on, Alina received a priority communication from Dr. Aisha Okafor, who had been monitoring the conflict from a secret research facility. "Admiral," Aisha's excited voice crackled over the comm. "We've detected a vulnerability in the enemy's command and control systems. If we can disrupt their quantum entanglement network, we might be able to throw their entire fleet into disarray." Alina's mind raced with the possibilities. "Send me the data. We'll only get one shot at this." As she studied Aisha's findings, a daring plan began to form. It would require perfect timing and coordination, but if successful, it could turn the tide of the entire war. "All ships," Alina broadcast to the human fleet, "prepare for Operation Quantum Strike. This is our chance to break the back of the invasion force." As the space battle reached a fever pitch, with losses mounting on both sides, Alina steeled herself for the most crucial decision of her life. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, and the next few moments would determine whether Earth would stand free or fall under alien dominion. With a deep breath, Admiral Alina Reyes gave the order that would change the course of history: "Execute Quantum Strike now." Unveiling the hidden fleet. As Alina's command echoed across the comm channels, the human fleet sprang into action with practiced precision. The Defiant and a select group of the most advanced warships broke away from the main battle, accelerating towards a seemingly empty sector of space. "Quantum drive engaged," Major Chen reported, his fingers dancing across the controls. "Targeting coordinates locked." Alina gripped her command chair, her eyes fixed on the view screen. "Take us in." In a flash of blinding light, the human ships vanished, reappearing seconds later in the heart of the alien formation. They materialized around the massive command ship of Supreme Commander Vex'Elia, catching the aliens completely off guard. "Fire," Alina ordered. A barrage of concentrated energy beams lanced out from the human vessels, striking precise points on the alien flagship. These weren't aimed at destruction, but at disruption, targeting the quantum entanglement nodes that formed the backbone of the Council's command and control network. Inside the alien command ship, alarms blared as systems began to fail. Vex'Elia hissed in fury and disbelief. "Impossible. How did they?" Her words were cut short as the ship's communications array exploded in a shower of sparks. Across the invasion fleet, alien captains found themselves suddenly cut off from Central Command, their carefully coordinated assault falling into chaos. Back on the Defiant, Alina allowed herself a moment of grim satisfaction. Phase 1 complete. All ships, execute attack pattern Omega. Let's press our advantage. The human fleet surged forward, capitalizing on the aliens' confusion. Ships that had been hiding their true capabilities now unleashed their full arsenal. Plasma torpedoes and gravity bombs tore through alien defenses, while point defense lasers swatted enemy fighters from the sky with uncanny accuracy. On Earth, the effect was equally dramatic. The alien ground forces, suddenly bereft of orbital support and coordination, found themselves outmaneuvered by human defenders who had spent years preparing for this moment. In Washington, D.C., General Tanaka led a counteroffensive that drove the invaders from the city. His voice boomed over loudspeakers as tanks and mech suits advanced. "For Earth, for humanity, push them back." Similar scenes played out across the globe as humanity seized the initiative. In London, Rio de Janeiro, Tokyo, and 100 other battlefields, the tide began to turn. Aboard the Defiant, Alina coordinated the assault with a mixture of strategic brilliance and adaptive tactics. She had trained for this moment for years, but the reality of combat brought its own challenges and opportunities. "Sigma Squadron, form up on me," she commanded, guiding her flagship towards a cluster of alien cruisers. "Let's show them what these ships can really do." The Defiant's engines flared as it accelerated, leading a wedge formation that punched through the enemy line. Advanced shield technology, born from Dr. Seto's breakthroughs, shrugged off incoming fire as the human ships unleashed devastation upon their foes. In orbit, the balance of power shifted dramatically. The once mighty alien armada found itself fragmented and reeling, unable to mount an effective defense against the surprising capabilities of the human fleet. But victory was far from assured. The aliens still held a numerical advantage, and desperation made them dangerous. As Alina watched the tactical display, she saw pockets of resistance forming. Alien ships rallying around secondary command centers. "They're adapting," she muttered. "We need to end this quickly before they can regroup." A priority message flashed on her console. It was from Zaxlith, their alien ally. "Admiral Reyes," the former ambassador's voice crackled with urgency. "I've identified the location of Vexalia's emergency command post. If you can neutralize it, the invasion will collapse." Alina's mind raced with the implications. This could be the key to victory, but it would require a daring assault deep into enemy territory. She made her decision in a heartbeat. "Major Chen, prep a strike team. We're going to end this war once and for all." As the space battle raged on, Alina led a small group of elite ships on a surgical strike against the alien command post. They weaved through debris fields and ongoing skirmishes, relying on stealth and speed to reach their target. The final assault was fierce and desperate. Alina's strike team fought their way through waves of alien defenders, their advanced weapons and tactics giving them an edge in the close-quarters combat. In a climactic moment, Alina found herself face to face with Supreme Commander Vexalia. The alien leader, her scales glinting in the harsh light of the command center, raised an energy weapon. "You may have won this battle, human," Vexalia snarled, "but the Council will never stop. We will return, and your world will burn." Alina's own weapon never wavered. "You underestimated us once. That was your mistake. Humanity isn't just fighting for survival. We're fighting for our future among the stars. And we won't be denied." A single shot rang out, and Vexalia crumpled to the ground. With their leader fallen and their command structure in ruins, the remaining alien forces began to surrender or flee. As news of the victory spread, cheers erupted across Earth and throughout the human fleet. Against all odds, humanity had prevailed. But Alina knew that this was only the beginning. They had won their independence, but the galaxy was vast and full of both wonders and dangers. Humanity's journey among the stars was just beginning. As the Defiant turned back towards Earth, Alina gazed out at the starfield. A mixture of pride, exhaustion, and determination etched on her face. They had faced extinction and emerged stronger than ever. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she knew that humanity would face them united, their spirit unbroken. The age of Earth's isolation was over. A new chapter in human history had begun, one that would be written among the stars, turning the tide and reshaping the galaxy. In the aftermath of humanity's stunning victory, Earth found itself thrust onto the galactic stage in a way no one could have predicted. The defeat of the Galactic Council's invasion force sent shockwaves throughout known space, appending centuries of established power structures and alliances. Admiral Alina Reyes stood before the United Earth Parliament, her uniform crisp and adorned with newly minted medals. The chamber was packed, with delegates from every nation and colony hanging on her every word. "We have won a great victory," Alina began, her voice carrying to every corner of the room. "But our work is far from over. The galaxy now knows of our existence, our strength, and our determination. We must be prepared for what comes next." In the weeks and months that followed, humanity embarked on an ambitious program of expansion and diplomacy. The advanced ships that had defended Earth now set out on missions of exploration, mapping new star systems and making contact with alien civilizations. Dr. Aisha Okafor led a team of scientists in establishing Earth's first extrasolar colony, a testament to how far human technology had advanced in preparation for the invasion. As she watched the first dome take shape on a distant world, she couldn't help but smile. "From hiding in shadows to reaching for the stars," she mused. "We've come so far in such a short time." But not all was peaceful in the wake of the Council's defeat. The power vacuum left by their fall led to conflicts and upheavals across the galaxy. Many species who had long chafed under council rule now saw an opportunity for independence, while others sought to claim the mantle of galactic leadership for themselves. Humanity found itself walking a delicate line between peacekeeper and revolutionary. The same fleet that had defended Earth was now called upon to intervene in conflicts across the stars, protecting the vulnerable and promoting stability. Major Sarah Okoro, now Colonel, found herself leading peacekeeping missions on distant worlds. During one particularly tense standoff between former council enforcers and a rebel faction, she reflected on how much had changed. "A year ago, we were fighting for our very existence," she told her troops. "Now we're out here, light years from home, trying to bring some measure of peace to the galaxy. It's a heavy responsibility, but one we must bear." Back on Earth, the integration of alien technology into everyday life proceeded at a dizzying pace. Cities were transformed by anti-gravity vehicles and clean energy sources. Medical breakthroughs extended human lifespans and cured once intractable diseases. But with these advancements came new challenges. Earth's governments grappled with the societal implications of such rapid change, working to ensure that the benefits were distributed equitably and that humanity didn't lose touch with its roots in the rush to embrace the stars. In orbit, the shipyards that had once operated in secret now worked around the clock, producing a new generation of vessels designed for both defense and exploration. The UES Horizon, Earth's first true long-range exploration ship, prepared for its maiden voyage to the galactic core. Admiral Rice stood on the Horizon's bridge, gazing out at the bustling activity around Earth's orbital stations. She felt a mixture of pride and trepidation as she contemplated the journey ahead. "We've come so far," she murmured, "but there's still so much we don't know." As if in response to her thoughts, an urgent communication came through. It was from one of Earth's new allies, a species called the Nharvox, who had thrown off council rule in the chaos following the invasion's failure. "Admiral Reyes." The alien diplomat's hologram flickered to life, its tentacles waving in agitation. "We've detected something. A signal from beyond the galactic rim. We think it might be the true masters behind the council." Alina's blood ran cold. The implication was clear. The Galactic Council might have just been a pawn in a larger game, one that humanity had unwittingly entered. She quickly composed herself, years of leadership kicking in. "Thank you for bringing this to our attention. We'll dispatch a task force immediately to investigate." As she ended the transmission, Alina's mind raced with the possibilities. Had they simply traded one threat for an even greater one? Or was this an opportunity to forge new alliances and push the boundaries of human knowledge even further? One thing was certain: humanity's journey among the stars was far from over. They had proven themselves in battle, but now they faced challenges that couldn't be solved with firepower alone. Diplomacy, scientific innovation, and an unwavering commitment to their principles would be their weapons in the conflicts to come. As the Horizon prepared to depart on its historic mission, Alina addressed the crew one final time. "We set out today not just as representatives of Earth, but as explorers and peacekeepers for all sentient life. The galaxy is vast and full of wonders, but also dangers we can scarcely imagine. Our task is to face those dangers, to unlock those wonders, and to forge a future where all species can thrive together." The ship's engines hummed to life, and the Earth slowly receded from view. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, forever changed by the crucible of invasion and victory. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them not as conquerors or victims, but as equals among the stars, guardians of a fragile peace and architects of a new galactic order. As the Horizon vanished into the depths of space, the words etched on its hull gleamed in the starlight. "Per ardua ad astra," through adversity to the stars. It was more than just a motto. It was the story of humanity's journey, and a promise of adventures yet to come. The greatest chapter in human history was just beginning.